What's going on? This is Brother Jay, and I'm back again with another fella, Day Man. Now, I've been getting, saying a couple of hits and stuff like that, saying from a couple of people about this short film that was, saying filmed in, I want to say, probably like 2019 or something like that. And it was called Skin. Okay. And they were saying, what is my feedback on it? You know what I'm saying? So before I can give the feedback to those who haven't seen it, like I haven't seen it, you know what I'm saying, but eventually did, you know what I'm saying, let me give you the moral of the movie, you know what I'm saying. The moral of the movie basically is almost the same thing as American History X, you know, is a white dude, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, he's, you know what I'm saying, just alpha male and confronting black people in stores. Yeah, fuck you, and yeah, what? You know what I'm saying? And he's doing it in front of his lady. He's doing it in front of his kid. He's teaching his lady about his hatred. You know what I'm saying? He's surrounded by other hatred, motherfucker. And he's teaching his son how to shoot guns and how to aim right. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, this is how you kill a nigger and shit. And, you know. So the gist of the movie, in a nutshell, is that basically they just showing how much in his ideology of skinhead behavior or Nazi behavior, whichever one you want to indulge it on, that he's entertaining. So what eventually happened after he sit up here and beat up a black man, and him and his crew beat up a black man, you know what I'm saying, and poured milk on him. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, you know what I'm saying, some gangsters and shit like that got a hold of him and shit, pushed him in a truck. You know what I'm saying? They took him to some kind of like hideout place, and for I guess 10 days, you know what I'm saying, they was like slowly but surely tattooing this guy, you know what I'm saying, to make his whole skin all over black. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying, so they wind up, you're saying, dropping him off in front of his house. You know what I'm saying? 10 days later, you know. And his wife, you're saying, looked out the window, didn't recognize him. He looked like a black man and shit. So she got a fucking, you know what I'm saying, a 38 and stuff like that, was hiding in the distance, you know what I'm saying, ready to shoot this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So when he came through the door and he said something like, you know what I'm saying, oh, baby, it's me, baby, it's me. You know what I'm saying? She was like, what? And she started lowering the gun. But he wound up getting shot in the back by his son, who was taught that anybody black, you know what I'm saying, that comes to the door or anything like that, you shoot first. So ironically, he died by his teachings and shit. So this is a half and half scheme, you know what I'm saying, on some people that approve of it and a lot of people that don't approve of it. Of course, you'll say anybody, you know what I'm saying, that's out here like a skinhead is not going to approve of that movie. Fuck no. You know what I mean? Me, I thought it was a good moral lesson. Now, was the movie good? It had its cheesy moments. You can tell they was trying to get like, saying American History X. But the moral of it, I thought it was a good ass moral. I mean, if you're out here on some extreme hateful shit, like you're saying, oh yeah, fuck black people and fuck Jews and fuck this and fuck that, and someone kidnaps you and color your skin black and stuff like that, now you gotta walk around like a black person and experience half of the things that black people are experiencing. I thought that was a good moral lesson. There's an old movie back in the day. It was called this is in the 19, I want to say 64, 65 roughly. It was called Watermelon Man. You know what I'm saying? Where, moral of that movie was basically, you know what I'm saying, there was a white dude and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And somehow, you know what I'm saying, he woke up and he was black. No, that's reverse. It was a black dude and he woke up white and shit. You know what I'm saying? But either way, it's the same principle. And people act like people haven't made these kind of movies, you know what I'm saying, back in the day and shit. So they hating on this movie now because, you know what I'm saying, of the time frame we're living in, and the climbing of the energy and stuff like that. But me, I thought morally it was okay, but you know what I'm saying, thematically, it was you know, it was okay, you know what I'm saying? But so the answer to the question that the person asked me, which is that what I thought about the movie. And I said, you know what I'm saying, hey, compared to what a lot of black men are going through, you know what I'm saying, with the police and what, you know what I'm saying, these you know what I'm saying, racist groups, you know what I'm saying, some people, you know what I'm saying, in the government, I thought it had a good moral to it. You know what I'm saying? If you sit here, you know what I'm saying reckless shit out your mouth constantly, and a whole bunch of, you know what I'm saying, black people kidnapped you and gave you a whole body tattoo, and it's nothing but black, and now you gotta walk around, you know what I'm saying, your racist friends looking black, that is a moral lesson. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Now you're going to see how your friends view you. Now that you look black now. I thought it was a fucking, you know what I'm saying, a good moral lesson, you know what I'm saying? I mean, some people might disagree with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a hateful person. But I believe in what you throw out in the ether, you deserve back in boomerang effect. You know what I'm saying? If you spew in a whole bunch of hate, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, you just hating on a person because their skin color and shit, you know what I'm saying, and this shit happens to you, bro, that's karma. Karma came back to call on you, so this is not a long thought of the day, you know what I'm saying. I bring this in conclusion. Anybody that has anything negative to say on me because I approve of the morality message of that movie, bro, you can bring whatever you want to bring, you know what I'm saying, unless you live it in my shoes, where we see this hatred every day, you know what I'm saying, constantly from not just one source, but multiple sources, you know what I'm saying. Once you see it in my shoes, you can understand why I don't have too much negative to say on that movie, especially when he was the agitator. He's the one who's agitating his woman to believe in what he believes in. He's agitating his son to believe in what he believes in. And he's out here, you're saying, in stores and other public places, provoking people and beating up black people and shit with his fucking cronies and stuff like that. So he got his just desserts. Why would I not like, you know what I'm saying, people want to say, well, it's revenge fantasy. If that's what you want to call it, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that, you know what I'm saying, it's like a revenge fantasy in my head. But when you see people get their comeuppances, like the same thing as you watch, like, you know what I'm saying, hero movies. When you see the villain finally get their just desserts and saying, you're like, yeah, get his ass. There's always that one movie that you can't wait to see a motherfucker get his comeuppances. And this was it. I'm out of here. Deuces.